pause. We pause for a second or two. This is episode 181, first year of pause. Today marks our first year of this podcast, Pause. One year ago, me and my spouse sat down and did a first test episode of something similar to this concept. And now we are pausing again and taking a moment to reflect upon what 1 year, our first year of pause, has been, and now what it is, what it has become. So at the foundation of everything is our core skill, pause, to pause. And quite frequently, these episodes, this podcast, is about just this skill, pausing. It's what everything else builds upon. When we pause, we avail ourselves to a toolbox of sorts, an emotional toolbox to find new and more interesting ways in any given situation. This podcast has been recorded every other day, so quite frequent recording. And the point of that design has been to gain many points of reference, mapping this time. So every other day we sit down and reflect upon something important for what we're going through right now. And since we do it so frequently, every other day, it creates very good and healthy emotional flow, since it doesn't clog up too much because it's every other day. This year has been very eventful. I am referring to our international and political situation. I'm referring to all the infrastructure, all the new infrastructure being rolled out. I'm referring to the drastic tosses and turns here and there how one day we receive news of one event with sort of one strong vibe, one strong feeling to it, and then the very next day something new, strong happens that elicits a very different response in us. So very much all these very drastic shifts, very turbulent. It has been a turbulent year. The other day, I asked my spouse to assist me and write down the title of our first 180 episodes and organize them according to the different situations in our framework. So 7 different categories. The first being core skill pause, the second being our universal skills, and category 3 through 7, those 5, being one for every specific situation: sleep, acute, long-term, confused, and worn out. And since she completed that overview, I have been just taking in what this year has been about emotionally, and seeing what spontaneously stands out during this year. And today's episode is about what I found in doing that with the help of my spouse. What stood out mainly was that the sort of mood, the overall mood to the topics of all the episodes, the sort of energy in them shifted at 2 quite drastic points. The first point was some 100 episodes ago, so about 200 days ago. And that was when Sweden announced that 250,000 of our people will be trained in AI. And 250,000 people in a Swedish context is quite a lot. It is 250,000. We are 10 million people. So it's 2.5% of our people. And that is a lot. And that was the first point, when sort of the overall mood to the episodes changed somewhat, and the news coming out after that sort of became more urgent and more violent. And then the second point, when the mood changed yet again, was some 40 episodes ago, I believe. So about 80 days ago, when some 10, I believe, very heavy bombs were dropped on a capital city. And these heavy bombs looked very apocalyptic in how they changed the scene. It changed so dramatically. It looked like the ground had opened up and the flames of hell was coming out. It looked extreme, and it reminded people all over the world about the sudden devastation of heavy bombs. The fear of heavy bombs, the fear of nuclear weapon has laid the foundation for how we organize ourselves internationally since the Second World War. The sort of respect for nuclear weapons. So this point in history, when these heavy bombs were dropped on a capital 80 days ago, was also a very major turning point. And after that episode, again, the sort of mood to the overall emotions, to what we are doing, to how we feel as a collective, it became more drastic, more fearful, more extreme. So the first turning point was in the beginning of summer, when the Swedish government announced the rolling out of AI to a great extent to 250,000 people in our workforce, Swedish workforce. And then the second point was some 80 days ago, with these heavy bombs being dropped and sort of reminding us of bombs, heavy bombs. Those 2 points. So AI and bombs. And that is a quite good summary of this year. 2 fears that perhaps are linked into maybe one fear, if we will. The fear of AI, or why we feel the need to develop AI, and the fear of heavy bombs, of nuclear weapons and the like. So AI and nuclear weapons. And these two sort of, they are connected. They are connected. Our first year of pause has been a lot about new technology. Quite a number of episodes have been about AI, different applications of AI. Yet other episodes, quite many of them, have been about different fears we are harboring right now. We are in very fearful times, where we make a lot of rash decisions based on fear, that we impulsively feel we have to go hard in one direction due to fear. A lot of panicked decisions being made this year by us as a collective. it remains to be seen now. We are in Christmas time, and Christmas time is a very emotional time for Westerners. Swedish people, for one, are very prone to make major decisions in Christmas time. So I could be wrong, but I have a feeling that Sweden will make some major decision quite soon. It feels on brand, so to speak, because as summer arrived, Sweden made this decision on AI. And now as Christmas arrives, it would be not surprising if Sweden again makes some kind of major adjustment now. So we will see. It will probably be related to AI or some kind of fear of devastation. There are many kinds of devastations that we are fearful about in these times. Not only nuclear weapons, but fear of domestic conflict, fear of pandemics, just a lot of fear, basically. And it comes down to that people get tired of being fearful. And we talked about also during this first year, we made one episode about magical thinking and magic solutions. And what it was about, and it feels relevant to bring it up now, was that when we people have been fearful for a sustained period of time, and we are beginning to get tired in our bodies and minds and souls, then we will be attracted to magic solutions that don't really logically add up, but they sort of feel like the solution. So it could be that Christmas time now, combined with our fatigue of being so fearful for so long time, it could add up to some kind of suggested magical solutions. And that could happen. It's in the air. It is sort of a feeling that a common sentiment is, I do not care what is being done now, just get something done. That kind of sentiment. Just do something, just fix it, whatever it is. And that feeling is in the air. For me, personally, I am satisfied with concluding our first year of pause. We have gone through a lot, so many different topics, and yet there are commonalities to all of them. And it will be interesting now to see how our second year sort of follows upon the first, and what differences we can see from our second year compared to our first. How pausing changes. Does it feel different to pause once we have done it through a whole year and seen every sort of seasonal change through the eyes of pausing? Will that change how we view it our following year? and we do the same. We pause for a second or two and just stay engaged. That's what we do. In a balanced, pausing kind of way, we just care about what is going on with our lives and talk about it. For our first year together, you, the listener, that's it for today. Thank you.